point. You might be wondering why don't sharks and fish eventually sink to the ocean floor? Ew, help! Don't look at me! Bony fish have an organ filled with gas, hence the name gas bladder. Instead of gas bladder, sharks have enormous livers. The liver is filled with oil and keeps the shark buoyant in the water. This is the shark's largest organ. But there is more to being a shark than simply not sinking. Some sharks have a constantly moving forward in order to breathe. This is called respiration. As the shark swims, the water enters its mouth and passes over the gills. Bony fish have achieved muscles that allow them to cope the surrounding water while standing still. Now sharks use respiration to breathe. Some sharks, like the warbling, can use their jaws and an organ called a buccal pump to draw water into their mouths. The oxygen-rich water passes over the gills and is absorbed into the shark's bloodstream. The shark enters in red, take the blood and the oxygen-rich blood to the heart and other tissues, including the brain. The veins in blue bring the oxygen-rich blood back to the gills to absorb more oxygen. Any shark using respiration to breathe has to keep moving. Otherwise, its entire system of organs will fail, and the shark will die. To keep themselves moving, sharks have a sleek topless design and a set of 8 crescent and triangle-shaped fins. Sharks have a set of dense muscle fibers that run the length of their body. A cross-section of a shark relieves sets of muscles. The pink muscle fibers are for suddenly bursts of speed, allowing the shark to use more athletically. The dark red muscles are for slow, steady movement. One side of the shark's muscles contracts, causing the other side to stretch. The stretched muscles snapped back, propelling the shark forward. The forward movement is created by a caudal fin moving from side to side. Slow-moving sharks like the cow shark have larger upper caudal lobes. Fast-moving sharks like the mako have the ventral caudal fins, which give them more powerful in the water. Some sharks are built for speed, but how can they keep up with their fast-moving prey? Wolf and tuna, a favorite meal of makos, can swim up to 447 minutes. Squid and mackerel, the favorite food of smaller sharks, can also move with suddenly bursts of speed. Animals are either cold or warm-blooded. This refers to how the animals use and store energy. A jackrabbit can move about freely and produce its own heat, so it's warm-blooded. A cold-blooded lizard has to convey its energy because it can maintain its own body temperature. Red is a cold-blooded. His body temperature the same as the water he swims in. Blue shark also being cold-blooded. will lose body heat in the cold water. Cold water moves over the gills, flatness, cooling the blood inside. The cold blood moves through the shark's body and intermittent organs, causing the shark's temperature to drop. Like other animals, sharks migrate south to warmer waters when winter comes. But not all sharks are cold-blooded. The family Ledin has sharks that can maintain their body temperature. They do this with a special web of veins and arrows called red marble. In the web, warm blood from the center of the body exchanges heat with cold blood coming from the gills. This is the way no heat is lost through the gills. The heat remains the shark's ambition to being able to hunt in colder water and swim greater distance. The red minnow lets the mako keep up with those pale bluefin tuna. Red in its bodies tends to stay local where the water is warm year-round. Oh, great tortoise!